purpose is how I can raise up ordinary men, turning them to become supernatural beings, financial apostles, making life better, bringing people from the dungeon of sin, bringing them into the faith, planting their feet, and rising them.
Holy Ghost! Holy Ghost!
Somebody shout fire!
I'm talking about grace. Somebody hearing what God is saying? Somebody say grace. Why did I start by saying, any of you that know you have no sin should stand up? You know, have you studied the life of Peter in the Bible? Peter was highly anointed. When I study the life of Peter, I get troubled. And do you know the meaning of Peter? Peter, Simon Peter. And Simon there means water. And son of Cephas means stone. And do you know that man was a man full of confidence among all the disciples of Jesus Christ? Do you know he's the only one that confront Jesus Christ with hard questions? Hard questions. Shall we build 3 tabernacles for you here? One for Moses, one for Elias. He's too outspoken. You think that man does not have boldness? Let me tell you another thing. When they came to arrest Jesus, it was Peter that drew sword. That's to tell you that the man does not have fear. In the presence of the soldiers, and cut off a lady ear. Pam! Took somebody's ear off. Pam! Where did he find sword? That shows that Peter was a stubborn, militant Niger Delta man. Am I talking to somebody here? Sometimes you need that kind of people around you as a pastor. Am I talking to somebody? It was not mistake that Jesus allowed Peter to be around him. He was a protocol man, very heavy, very gigantic and radical and brutal. Have you studied the life of Peter? Now let me ask you. That same man that drew sword to cut somebody's ear, small, just some few small people who are not soldiers were talking, and they asked a question. He denied Jesus 3 times. If he could not deny Jesus before the apostles, before the soldiers with sword and cut somebody's ear, why should he deny Jesus after that? The grace to face storm was not available. And number 2, Jesus was taken away from them. And because he was taken away from them, because this time he had not died, he was a singular grace. So when they took him away, it was like grace was taken away from them. So he became empty. He now knew that the boldness, the strength that I have, it is not because I was strong, but because the Messiah was with me in person. Now, the Messiah is no longer there. He was empty and vulnerable, and fear gripped a man like that with inbuilt capacity and temerity. He could not face. He became afraid, and he denied the master 3 times. Now hear this. Even when he finally discovered that he has denied him, he wept. But do you know what? The grace was sufficient. I don't know what has happened to you. Have you disappointed him? Have you gone astray? Have you gone to a native doctor to look for power? Have you an idol in your house that you worship? Have you lost all? Daddy said I should tell you. My grace is sufficient to save you. He can gather you back again. He can bring you back to himself. He can restore you. He can bring hope. He can bring hope and joy back to you. His grace is sufficient. You can't die that way. His grace is sufficient. The capacity of your exploit in life is determined by the grace of God that is available. The capacity of your exploit in life is determined by the availability of the grace of God in your life. Let us not boast over anything. When I hear some people say, I'm major prophet, I'm mega prophet, I am mega prophet, I say, I'm just a brother of God. And it is his grace that makes me who I am. If God does not speak, how do I call myself a prophet? If he does not reveal anything, the grace should go to him. I don't know why I'm crazy about people who carry too much title and accolades and the rest. I feel that we don't need that. It should go to him alone. Because if he's out of us, we are empty. We are empty. If the Holy Ghost does not reveal to us, how do I prophesy? So when people try to praise me, I say, no, redirect it to him. It has to go to him. It is very easy to honor a man of God, which is good. But a man of God should at every moment of his life rechallenge that honor back to the original one. Because without him, we can do nothing. It's not by might, it's not by strength, but by my spirit, saith the Lord. It is by the spirit of the Lord that we do the wonders that we do. Now hear this. When you see a man that carry grace, his life become a mystery. And if you try to interpret how the grace of God works upon his life, you will not be able to explain. So you end up to criticizing. And hear this. Any man that is graced by God to do what he's doing, if you talk about him, the more you talk about him, you will go down. And that is how he will be going up. In fact, the voice of critics to a man who carry grace is like a spiritual petrol into a fire. It makes the man to evaporate and go higher. That's why you must be very, very careful of how you fight a man that carry grace. Some people say, how do you got this prosperity? I manage. Even me, I cannot explain. You can't. When grace is at work, you can't explain. It's not because you are better. And this is the line I'm trying to draw out, that if a man is better, he should not think of himself to be more righteous than others. It is just the grace that makes him so. That's why there must be no boasting. There must be no boasting. There must be no self-ego. There must be no self-praise and appraiser. All glory, all glory must go to him, because we are what we are by his grace. We are what we are by his grace. The same accident that you have, that you walk out of it without nothing scratching you. Somebody did not have almost up to that, and the person is dead. So you see, it's his grace, the grace of God made available. Now hear this. There are types of grace, and the first one I call the general grace, and it's called the common grace. And this common grace is the grace that God has given to every man, both unbeliever or believer. the natural breath that you have is made available. The Bible says it caused it to rain, which is another one. Example, it caused to rain upon the good and the bad. It caused the sun to shine upon the good and the bad. This general, it comes to everybody. Whether you are good, whether you are bad, the sun will shine on you. Whether you are a terrorist, the sun will shine on you. That grace is a benefit that comes to everybody. You don't get it because you are good or because you are bad. It comes, it's a general grace. And there's another one I call the saving grace of God. That grace is made for your salvation. I'm talking about types of grace. That grace is made for your salvation. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8 to 9. He said, for by grace ye are saved through faith, and that not of yourself, it is the gift of God. The salvation by grace, we are saved. We are saved. That we shout, I am saved. It's not because you repented. It's because the grace of God was made available to save you. Because even when you repented, you had committed sin. Even when you repented, you had committed sin. But the grace was made available. Now, this is what, if you understand this, lawyers will be able to tell you. If you went to jail for 10 years for stealing, and you are now released after 10 years, and you commit the same offense, the law will not say, because you came out of jail for the past 10 years, that you will not go back. But you see the grace of God, he forgives you your sin. Immediately you sin again, you don't need to appear before a court of heaven. You have access to him. You don't even need an attorney physically except Jesus Christ to advocate for you. He advocates for you, and instantly you are forgiven. That's grace. The saving grace of God. I can't even explain this. Each time I look at the grace, somebody came to meet me and said, do you know that man is evil? And I smiled. And God told me, him that was pointing the man, what he has done. And I kept quiet. God was revealing to him, he was pointing that man. That man is evil. And God showed me his own. So I kept quiet. I said, brother, let's not talk about that one, because if we talk about your own too, you will discover that you are more evil than him. That's why genuine men of God will never climb their altar to use their tongue to talk about another person. Because they know they are who they are by the grace of God. If a brother fall down, let's help the brother to stand. Let's stop fighting the brother. Because if the brother has, even though the brother has committed the worst sin, if he asks God for forgiveness, as far as grace is available, God forgives him his transgression and remember it no more. Excuse me, if I know I have committed sin and he forgives me, and that same grace is available for you to commit sin and he will forgive you, that means if I see you fall, I will pray that his grace that saved me should save you. I should not begin to criticize you and magnify your weakness as if I am perfect than you. But hear this, which is a clause. Shall we continue to sin so that grace may abound? No, God forbid. Grace is not a license for us to continue to sin. Grace is only an antidote of hope that when we sin mistakenly, he can forgive us. So it does not mean because we understand grace that we continue to deliberately sin. And hear this, if you are a general, when you commit a sin, you will be healed, but the scar will be there. Let me explain what I mean by scar. If you have gone through any kind of operation, no matter how they close you up, the scar is there. to be there. If you have sustained a bullet, if they remove the bullet, the scar will be there. And why do God allow you to have a scar? Is to remember you that even though you were healed, there is still an indication that you fell. God will always show it that every general has sustained one injury or the other. I'm not talking about the kind of generals we have now in our military who sit down and take coffee. I'm talking about the real kind of generals in the Bible. Because before you become a general in those days, you must have led troops to the battlefield and fight and prove yourself. I'm not talking about writing paper on the ground and become a general. Hello? Somebody shout fire! Are you ready? His grace is about to work for you. Say it. I am saved by His grace. I am who I am by His grace. I will be lifted by His grace. I will be lifted by His grace. I will move forward by His grace. Say, I will move forward by His grace. By His grace. Romans chapter 11 verse 6. You get this? Romans 11 verse 6. Let's read that. Romans. And if by grace, then is it no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then is it no more of grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. Let me read it again. And if by grace, then is it no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then is it no more grace. This explanation is saying that grace is not just the function of the works of our righteousness that we do. It's the function of His work on the cross, His finished work on the cross. That we are who we are by His grace. Somebody shout a bigger amen. Say, I believe I will go forward and no power will stop me. Shout the amen like thunder. Are you ready? Where I begin to understand that grace operates is when God changed my life. I begin to see that the more you get close to Him, I'm talking about impartation of grace. Now when you see a man of God doing the things he's doing, and he goes beyond the normal, it is the grace that is made available for him. You don't imitate grace, you ask God for grace. You don't imitate. You don't see a man being graced to do. Like some of us, we see the way we do deliverance. Some people want to imitate it to do it like the seven sons of Cephas. You don't imitate it. If the grace is not there, don't try it. Don't try it. You don't imitate grace. There are too much of photocopy in grace. You talk like the person, you behave like the person, but the grace to function in that office is not given to you. You ask God, so can I carry the grace? Can I fetch from the grace that is upon a man? Yes, if it is transferred to you by impartation. And you don't fight a man who you are coming to get grace from. Somebody shout fire. Fire. Shout fire 3 times. May you operate in a new level from today. May the door that is closed against you be open. May there be favor in your life. May there be favor in your life. May you see the kind of favor you have never seen. May you receive the kind of favor you have never received. May you touch the kind of money you don't deserve to touch. Look here, sit down, let me talk to you. When grace is at work, it's grace violates educational principles. It breaks protocols. It surpasses human understanding and imagination. When grace is at work, you can't explain. And this is one of the reasons why some people don't know why God picked up a nobody and uses. When you come to the church of God, you need to understand grace. It's not education. It's not your certificate. Keep your certificate aside. Keep your profession aside. You can be professionally loaded and be professionally a mistake and error to spiritual understanding. You can become a professional spiritual error. You don't bring your profession into spiritual things. It is grace that speaks. If there is a demon in a brother and I stand here, come my brother, and this brother come here and begin to speak and say, now I eliminate, I extricate, I command, I declare, I authorize, iglity piglity, hanky panky and hanky panky, all kind of English language. The demon will be dancing makosa with your language. Say, keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. Am I talking to somebody here? As you keep speaking, the grace is not grammar. Grace is not English language. Maybe, come brother, after you have spoken, nothing happened. This one does come. He cannot even speak English language. And just look at the demon and say, Jade! Did you hear that one? You did not hear. I spoke in tongues. Fita! Did you hear that one? I spoke in tongues. But that's a language. This one has spoken all the grammar, scientific, law, PhD in education, PhD in this, HIV in the language. All of them, he has spoken it to this guy. And the demon refused to go out. And this one just came and said, Jade! And the demon just come out. Bam! The difference between the two people here is this one have grammar, this one have grace. Give Jesus a clap offering. And the world will not follow you in the spiritual realm because of your grammar. They will follow you based on your grace. That's why you watch some people, they might make errors and blunders, but it does not stop the expression of the Spirit. It is the Spirit that acts on us and make us to become an envy of the world. If not, if being a good orator makes you a good minister of the gospel, we have good orators. When they talk, they are so articulative in their words. They join their words together, connect. When you hear them speak, you know this is somebody who is gifted. Their words is so sweet, so smooth, like a car on the express road. When it plays with your mind, it brings rhythms and rhymes. They can motivate you by words. Make some alliterations and all kind of words. Powerful, but it is empty without grace. And this is what is happening in this end time. We have too many lecturers becoming men of God. And so they lecture the people of God rather than bringing a message to the people of God. And so the altar is void of power, empty of grace, void of power. And each time we see power, we criticize power. Because when you carry grace, and this is it, when I'm talking about grace, I'm talking about the empowered grace of God to do something in the area of your life that is most impossible to do because of your ability. But the grace of God has upgraded your ability. You must get this. When you carry grace and you begin to do the extraordinary in the ordinary, you will be criticized. People will begin to think there is something you add to it because it is grace that is made available. Because if grace means the unmeritable favor of God, it means what I get which I do not deserve. And what is favor? Favor is divine partiality. And what is divine partiality? Qualifying the unqualified. Favor is a divine savor that God releases to flavor a man's life for a man to flourish. Favor is relegating every earthly law and allowing supernatural law to take the order of the day. Favor is like taking a man like David from the bush part and bringing him to become a king over all. Favor is carrying a man like Joseph from pit to Potiphar's house, from Potiphar's house to prison, an ex-convict to become a prime minister in a strange country without being in any political party. That's favor. And hear this, favor is a product of grace. Grace gives birth to favor. And each time you see favor, you can't separate grace from favor, because grace is the manufacturing center of favor. So you must understand that favor itself is the grandchild of grace. So each time grace operates, you don't understand, how did this small boy get to this level? How did he bought the car? How did he got the private jet? He must be using juju. How is the crowd gathering? How will people gather by 4:30 a.m. in the church? It is not by might, not by strength. It is the grace of God made available. Somebody once saw me and said, I see the way you walk. You move like this. You move like this. You do this. From here you have gone here. From here you have gone here. I think it's suicidal. And I smiled. I said, it's true. Humanly speaking, it's suicidal. But when grace is at work, it becomes normal. No matter how stressed I am, if I spend 2 hours relaxed, I regain my vitality. Others will take 1 week, but grace is made available for me to do what I'm doing. If you try what I'm doing, it can be suicidal. It's grace. And hear this. Where you are strong, I might be weak. Where I am strong, you might be weak. So our grace differs from one another. So why should I be jealous of you? Why should I be jealous of me? I should major on my grace area and celebrate it. If I celebrate it and what I like in you might actually come as addition if I don't run you down because I don't have what you have. This is the problem of men of God in Africa. Even among prophets, they want to prove that they are more anointed than the other. And I think it's spiritual illiteracy. Spiritual illiteracy. I don't need to prove to you that I can prophesy than you. It's childishness. There are some prophets we need to package them and carry them to primary school spiritually. They should learn A, B, C, D. A for apple, B for boy, G for goat. They need to learn it because they are still growing. When you are into competition and you are bragging, you are a baby. Why? You should know I do these things I do not to compete anybody. I do what I do because it is by his grace. If his grace is not available, I will not be able to prophesy. I will not be able to preach. I will not be able to pray. So why should I boast over a thing that is given to me, that can be taken from me overnight? That's why Moses said, we will not live here if your presence, which is your grace, if it will not go with us, we are not leaving this place, because I understand that what I do is not my strength and can never be my strength. It is the strength of God. And that's why he said, my strength is made perfect in your weakness. The race is not for the swift, neither the battle for the strong, but time and chance, which is the grace of God, happeneth to them. I am what I am by the grace of God. It is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but it's of God that showeth mercy. It is the mercy of God that have kept me, because I know that my Redeemer liveth, looking unto Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of our faith. My faith is on the Lord, who is the solid rock of ages. I know who I have in Christ Jesus. I know what I carry in Christ Jesus. I know where I am going in Christ Jesus. I know what he has done in Christ Jesus. It is by his grace that I am what I am. I carry what I am by his grace. I shall not die, and I cannot die, because his grace is sufficient for me. His grace is sufficient. His grace is sufficient. You cannot kill a man that carry the grace of God. You can't stop me. I am what I am by his grace. I will build a house by his grace. I cannot die. The grace of God, the grace of God is sufficient. When men are sinned, there's a casting down. I shall be shouting that there's a lifting up. I am what I am by the grace of God. By the grace of God. By the grace of God. I shall not die. I will not go down. I will be here. The grace is sufficient. The grace, the grace, the grace of God, the grace of God is shared abroad, is made available. Somebody shout fire. Makabadayabada. It's the grace. It's the grace. It's the grace. Are they trying to condemn you? Tell them, you cannot judge me. You are not my creator. You are not my creator. The grace of God has forgiven me. Whosoever that God has set free is free indeed. The Bible says, let all men be liar, but God be the truth. Yes, I am who I am by the grace of God. Keep talking about me, but the grace is made available. The grace to do what I'm doing, the grace to go up, the grace to shine, the grace to shine. I am what I am by the grace of God. Somebody shout fire. Shout fire. Shout fire. Shout fire. Shout fire. No weapon that is formed against thee that shall prosper. Every tongue that rise up against thee in judgment shall thou condemn. I see your enemy. They are falling. 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 You are next in the line. Arise and shine. Arise and shine. Your light has come. Arise and shine. Your light has come. They that wait upon the Lord, they shall renew their strength. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. You will overtake. The grace to overtake. 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 Somebody. Hey.
Shout fire!